Well, hello, hello. Who is here? How are you? Thanks for joining. Last minute like that. We're getting together a lot, right? And who's here first for our celebration? Okay. Yes. Can you believe it's been a year? We did it. We did it. I know that's my Kamala Harris. That's all I've got, okay, for Kamala Harris. Um, and whatever. We did it. Congratulations, Deborah says. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. And wait, before I go on, if anybody wants to do a gift or anything, I'm not saying you have to, but if you should want to, this would be an instant way to do it, okay? Where the goo tubes will not take it, okay? Because they put their hands in everything. So if you want it to go straight to me and be instant, that would be the best way. So, who else is here? You know what, Molly? Okay, everyone, I tried the teff bread. How did yours turn out, Molly? Mine didn't turn out well, everyone. I tried to save it. You know what happened? I had two recipes and I fermented my teff flour. I didn't mix it. Molly, did you mix your flour? Because I used the straight teff flour and I fermented for 5 days and I didn't add any yeast, but I also didn't mix another flour. So I'm looking at a few things to do different. This was my first time to try it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. Okay. So, just have to go back to the laboratory on that. I hope yours turned out, Molly. I hope it's turned out. If anybody does make injera, let us know. Like if you have any good tips. But I mixed two different recipes and I didn't realize it. I started the one for my starter culture, Isho, as we talked about before. Oh, and then I had another recipe, and that's where I went wrong. So I'll get it together, you all, and I will definitely keep you posted on that. Let's see. Molly says, once the injera is made the first time, I see how keeping it up is easy. Bless those Ethiopians for the hard work. We'll roast cauliflower and yellow lentils to go with it. Okay, so Molly, you did well with yours. Tell me, we'll get together. I want you to let me know what was your process and what instructions recipe did you use. All right, that's great. If anybody else does, let us know. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to share the screen just to go over. I thought it would be interesting. I don't know. Celebrating a year. And yes, we did it. We did it. So I thought it would be interesting to go over some of the things that we went over. and how we have transformed. I don't know about you all, but I feel that my transformation going on this journey with you all, it has been an amazing year of discovery and of learning. And I know I have this crazy name for the channel. You know how I am. I thought it was funny to call it a remedial college, an invisible remedial college, just not taking ourselves seriously. I know it offends probably some people, but as a college graduate, I can tell you, I feel like, wow, I was so dumb. Okay. What my grandmother used to call college educated people. She would say educated fools. So I felt like an educated fool. And my learning only really began after school. After I had to do self, educating and allow other people to become teachers and professors, and it's a mentoring thing right now. I'm learning so much from Chris. You all have met Chris, and my thing is, I don't care how old you are, I can learn from anyone. So that's something that, if you are a real student and scholar, by the way, let me make sure. They do something weird on Facebook. Bear with me a moment, okay? Because it's some new thing and it won't air on Facebook. It's locked. So here it is. It's locked. This is really strange. I almost forgot. You have to stay on top of the technology also when you are learning. So that's something about learning. I guess it can be scary for some, but facing it and knowing that it can be exciting it's like life. You don't want to live your life once you're finding out that you're facing death. That's when some people realize, did they ever live? And it's the same with learning. It's scary. And it's also very humbling when you realize you don't know what you thought you knew. And the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know and you need to learn more. So if we can humble ourselves in that way and not be so puffed up in whatever degree or title we have, just realize learning comes in different ways. You can learn from going outside. You can learn from your pets. You can learn from your children, and younger people. So I'm open to having teachers of all different, a variety, in other words. So learning is just a fun thing. You all have been on this journey with me for about 3 years. And some of you remember my old channel, my original channel, which I had I think maybe I had it for 7 years, my original channel. And when I was, when Prime said that we needed to come out on this digital battlefield and bring more voices, I signed up. And that's when I turned my little channel into a, whatever you want to call it, other channel. And it was interesting, that journey and process, and lost the channel. They took away, I don't know how many channels I've had taken away. I've had Twitter accounts just taken away, suddenly taken away. I had one Instagul account taken away. Right before the election, they told me that I was interfering with the election. So that was the reason they gave me. Twitter gave no reason. Just one day I opened up my Twitter account, it wasn't there. And that was when everybody remembers that. We used to have so much fun on Twitter. Do you all remember the Twitter days? We were all tweeting, and now I opened another Twitter account and I never go over to it. It's just I just fell out of whatever it was because we had such a it was this moment in time when everybody could have a voice on Twitter, and it was amazing and fun because that was my first time really being on Twitter was with you all. And then we moved over to Telegram, remember? And then Telegram, we had to learn, bumping around, learning Telegram. And then we had the YouTube, whatever, we kept the channels up for a little while, but I think it was the election that we lost a lot. And for medical, they would say medical misinformation if you were, telling people about this thing. So, oh, I said that and it was buffering, Rosie Pie. Oh boy, look at that. Yeah, so we are learning a lot about our world, even through the censorship and things like that. I've lived in Cuba and, I've gone to visit Cuba since, moving. And when you go to a communist country and you learn what the way of life, the rhythm and the spirit of the people, I will tell you that Cubans have been resilient for one. They have lived under such oppression. And it's unbelievable how the people have this. It's a beautiful resilience. They drive our 1950 Chevys and they're able to repair them. And that's something that we are going to be challenged with, knowing how to tinker again, how to have a workshop, how to not always need to buy new things. For instance, I haven't bought any new shoes or new clothes or anything in years now, since 2020. Like, I haven't bought things. And my family, they joke around like I wear these same sandals, and it's like a hiking sandal. It's not sexy, it's not cute, but I just lost interest in consuming things. And I like quality things where you don't need a lot of them, but you have good stewardship and you know how to fix them. And that's something that when you look at the technology, like my computers, I've had laptops just die on me. I've had all kinds of things happen. And the things used to be more durable. You grew up with the commercial, the Maytag man. Remember the Maytag man? He was always bored, sitting around waiting to get a call for the repairs. And he would just sit around. Nobody would call because the Maytags had a reputation of lasting how long? How many years, right? Many, many years. And that is how I remember things. I remember the men in my family tinkering. Like I told you, my grandfather had a workshop in the basement. He fixed radios. He worked at RCA. That's why I have the gramophone. And the gramophone means a lot to me. And my grandfather being in the electrical engineering space. So it's a lot going on to remember my identity through my lineage. And a lot of things are becoming more clear, I'll say. And the subjects that we covered over this year have really helped this whole journey and process. And as it starts to unravel and, unfold, I want to share more and see what you all are thinking, because you help me so much. You have no idea. That's why I am committed to this chatmosphere, to our community, to what we started. I want to have this space for you all. I want to maintain it and make sure it is here. And whoever, people tell me sometimes if they're maybe bedridden or something like that, I think about you. I may not know everyone, but some people they send me messages. They're like, Jennifer, I really appreciate you doing the videos because I'm bedridden or some other reason that they can't get out and do a lot. So when you have that kind of relationship with people, I want to maintain it. I want to honor that. And if it's for nothing other than just making you laugh or giving you a link if you want to talk, like I said, I'm happy that I've been able to keep this channel up a year. It's funny, and everything, because some people are like, how did you do that? Well, this is the thing. I've always treated it like this. I can do the coded language. I could play those games, doing this like whatever. But at the same time, sometimes I'm going to slip and just speak freely. And I can't believe that our nation has turned into a place where we even have to do this. We have to speak in codes, and some people don't understand why this is so important. And in countries like Cuba, where I have lived, the thing is that it's okay when it's the other group and it's happening to them. But ultimately, oppression, it comes right back and it visits everyone. No one is safe. So the thing is that even the people that become Judases and they sell out their own people to work for the regime, I'll say, eventually the regime gets them. They feel that the regime is going to keep promises. The regime never keeps their promises. It's not a retirement plan working for the regime. So I am able to see so much right now. It's amazing. That's why I thought it would be great to have this gathering and look over some of the things that came up. And maybe I'll play part of some of the videos. So let me go to the channel and just go to the videos. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and like videos. Maybe just make it a point when you come in, just like the video. If you have liked enough content and you think you're going to like it, why not give it a like? It may help the algorithms. It's possible. So we'll see. But they play around a lot with numbers and things like that. So if you are going to start a YouTube, or you're a YouTuber or whatever they call it, just know if you speak about certain things, the platform, you'll notice your numbers will go up and down. It's really strange. Don't let it bother you, because it's a form of suppression. It happened a lot with my other channel. Hey, Karen. Oh, our sister. Hey, the beautiful Harlem Sentinel. Greetings. Shout out. Thank you. Meep, meep. Karen, I know Karen is our most amazing Harlem Sentinel. She watches out for the chatmosphere. She takes such good care of us. I want to thank you, Karen. You've been out here with us for years now, too. And I know that our sister, she's doing so much with her family and traveling and all kinds of wonderful things. So I always like to see what she's up to. And yeah, so thank you so much. Love you so much, Karen. So here is the channel's contents. Let's go and see if I can go to a year ago. Let's see what was happening a year ago. Hold on, everybody. Hold on to your seats. It's going to be a bumpy ride down the timeline. Okay, Let's see what kind of craziness had. And I can't even get it out for laughing. Wait a minute. If you have watched 100% of this channel's content, I can't imagine if anybody has, but if you have and you want to admit to it, let us know, because you deserve something. I don't know what, but you deserve something. We'll figure it out. You need to be acknowledged, at least, if you're not afraid to tell us. So if you've watched 100%, let me know. And if you've watched maybe 90% or 80% of the content, let us know. And if you have truly graduated, okay? And you have been degreed in the invisible remedial college, okay? I wish I had t-shirts. You would get a free t-shirt. But that's one of the things that we're working on. The school store, okay? Do you remember your school store when you were growing up? I thought it would be cute to have a school store. That was just a thought. You get all these thoughts and you're doing so much, you wish you just could add more time into the day, right? Uh-oh. Karen, you've watched 100%. Karen, okay. And Molly said 98%. You all are definite. You're going to be founders of the Invisible Remedial College, okay? Make sure I have your names. You're going to be founders. Okay, your name is going to be on a brick, okay? So here we are. Let's go. Okay, here it is, everybody. The first video is my nursing experience during the AIDS epidemic. Okay, so this was joined by our good sister, Girl Code. Okay, let's just see what
Robin, how are you doing?
Kind of see
adding up. Something really is not. Juan said he never had it. Okay. Yep. There you go. So,
very weird. Very weird.
And then you have Africa, okay? Everything always winds up on the continent of Africa when they're pushing this stuff. Now they push the narrative that this is in epidemic proportions in Africa, okay?
Okay, there I am ranting. Go figure. The first video on the channel, I'm ranting. Wow, what a stretch. Yolanda says 90%. You too, Rosie? Oh, founding members, CW. All these founders, CWS, a founding member, 95%. Look at that. Look at that. PH Joy said 100% for a good run when I'm online. Look at that. PH Joy, another founder. Lori said darn near. Lori, another founder. Look at that. I'll have to get all the founders' names, okay? I love it. I love it. Okay, so then wow. Okay, so we went there, and Girl Code had quite a testimony, really amazing just to think about, and some of the, like this next one, I wanted to redo it because I had so many technical issues. All right. So the second one was Who Done It? Murder Mystery. This is the one. Dr. Timothy Jarrell Cunningham, who worked for the CDC. I always say his name. So let's see, what was I talking about? Oh my goodness, what was this? His neighbor, Viviana Torrey, said that Cunningham told her husband to have her erase his cell phone number from her contacts list with the Black community. That this is a person who deserves attention. If you are an investigative journalist, if you are a lawyer, if you are a doctor, if you are anybody who has a voice, I want you to share. I want you to join. I want his death not to be in vain. Okay? I want his death to be vindicated by truth because he had something to share with the world. And we're going to go into that. So, again, he graced. Okay, so Lori says there was an echo. Okay, so that's right, Bronx Patriot. Cunningham did not commit suicide. Thank you. I also agree with you. Okay, so the next one, sorry, hold on to your seats. Hold on to your seats. It's crazy. It's a crazy ride. So say his name. Let's not forget about that brave mother. Boy, it's a lot of videos to go through. I'm not going to go through all, but I'm going to pick a few here and there. I'll just pick a few. We'll just look. Okay, so Cunningham, and then I had, oh boy, I talked about this flight and a woman, she told on me basically. She told the Gestapo that I wasn't wearing my mask enough on the plane in between whatever, biting or sipping on a water. I don't know. So I was ranting. And then there was talking about the Lolita trope, which, Brooke Shields being one of the people from my generation that pretty much used that trope. Then I did this thing. What the heck was I talking about? Okay, so it dealt with fame. I think I was reading a article about fame and what it did to the psyche. Nobody should want to be famous because it is a real head tripper and it's not healthy. It's not good for mental health to toy around with fame and get caught up in such ridiculousness. Let's see what's going on here. This is how American culture creates famous people and celebrities, is because of mass media. And it glorifies this, and the masses and the public, they begin to worship and idolize the celebrity. There's notoriety because some people become famous for criminality and things that aren't so noble. And this study talks about the lived experience of the celebrity. So their relationship between being a phenomena and their self, their true self. Is everything good with the there's sound? 7 universal phenomenological. I had a little technology issue. Is everything back? Words sometimes to me. Gives or structures. Okay. My notes. I can't even read my notes. Let me know so you have if I'm back on. Temporality, spatiality. These are from, these things that are seen, how they looked at this study. You have bodyhood, casuality, materiality, relationship to self, relationship to others. I didn't want to do anything and it formed a unified narrative. I don't know what happened, wanted to express their findings. Okay, so that one. And then I did something about situational awareness. Now, if anybody remembers the kind of last November, I was picking up on some interesting things that were kind of odd about Texas, and I did something with this one. And then the whole JFK, Rolling Stones. Let me see what this one is. Let's see. And tell me if the echo, PH Joy says less echo. Now it's like a commencement speech. Okay, let's see if this works. It's taking a bit of time here. Oh, maybe it'll work now. Let's see. Around this time, I was doing a lot of little short videos. I really enjoy these kind of videos where I play around with editing, and our sister Girl Code likes these too. There's definitely something going on with the GooTube. So that was one of those, and let's see. Some of these are really cray-cray, but some are, I'm looking back and it was a lot of different subject matter. If you had one that was your favorite subject, let me know. And hold on to your seats, I'm scrolling kind of fast here. How is this sound? Is it still good? Just let me know if it gets janky. All right, so then we went into, I made some pita bread. So Lisa Nedge gave me a great recipe. Then we did, remember, Girl Code and I did this one. Let's look at this real quick. This was on the 11/22/63 series. We covered a review of that.
His father, who had, died, and he went into a phone booth. His father, who had, died, and he went into a phone booth because you all know back then we had phone booth.
I don't know why I keep saying phone booth. Maybe it's skipping, or maybe I'm just saying phone booth a lot.
Set up shop, and he began to set up shop, and he began to woman of character to have that. You don't have. You'll be a woman of his father character to have that scar. You don't have.
And let's see,
his father
up to. It won't take me back to. I'm sorry, I have to keep scrolling back. It was a lot of stuff, huh? This past year I'm seeing. Okay, so then we did.
She told her that she didn't. He really loved her. Men, when you love a woman, you don't care if she has scars.
Well, that's weird.
She didn't. He really loved her. Men, when you love a woman, you don't care if she has scars and things. So he was basically telling her, like, that will give you character as a woman. You'll be a woman of character to have that scar.
Okay. Yeah, splicing, PH Joy. That was weird. I had already gone out of. So this was the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. So we had that happen. Remember? A lot happened last year, over this year. So the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, and now I'm getting all of this like it's not playing. On my end, it says I have a full bars, but almost full bars.
My goodness. So, my goodness.
It keeps repeating.
My goodness. So, my goodness.
Why is it doing that? It's so weird.
My goodness. And, she could have done anything, right? She could have escaped. Miss, I missed you too. Yes, we.
All right, I don't know.
Have to have a little sense of humor.
not playing. It's probably the StreamYard side of things. Okay, so I did a few things on the Ghislaine Maxwell. I talked about the Virgin Islands Attorney General and how the properties that were in the Virgin Islands, how they were, the state of those properties. So very crazy things. Then more of the, I did a few on the Ghislaine Maxwell. Then I did one on Les Wexner. Let's play that one. For anybody who doesn't know about Les Wexner, he was the bag man for the whole Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell operation. He was a major bag man, I'll say. And we would go and that he built kind of weird stuff. What are you guys thinking is going on? And what else has he stepped down? Les Wexner also stepped down from the Ohio State Board of Trustees. Les Wexner, pretty much, his wife Abigail has stepped Ohio, let's say. And if you've shopped at Bed Bath and I keep getting it wrong, Bath and Body Works, okay, and Victoria's Secrets, and in New York, other places like that. Barnard, which is across from Columbia, and I worked for like an event, right? Like she was the director of events. So I needed to, nurses need to know when they have to step away. If you're still hearing the and I've thing, I don't done know that why. A few times in my career, stepped away to do different things, okay? Because nurses are always seeing traumatic things. So in order to make sure that you are okay and well, you need to step away from constantly being bombarded with trauma, right? All my nurses, I'm sure you agree. If you've stayed in the career like too long, you know, okay, when you need, hopefully you're just doing just odd jobs and things. I happen to meet a relative of Les Wexner. I have some splicing in Los Angeles. I won't get into the particulars because I want to talk about this one because if Joseph is in the chat, this is when things took a turn down the mud flood lane or avenue. It was due to something Joseph said. And Tina, I'll also say Tina used to have a lot of comments that would make me think. So this was my foray into looking into the 1800s, the timeline, and what the heck was going on. So this would show that we've already gone over. I never looked before. Oh no! Of course, I found the most. The Irish are coming in, everybody. Incoming, Kate King. Hello. Irish here, Raylene. Of course, Raylene. Beautiful, right? Raylene here. Johnny Borealis. All right. Okay. Yes. Yes. They're here. Yes. This one. Wasn't one of the Kennedy placed in place like this, but you can just see what damage. So I'm looking at the asylums, people, okay, in the 1800s. Behind this is when it happened, everyone. Institutions. So here is Bible now, and again. I want you to focus on the architecture because does that make sense to have these sturdy structures and not repurpose them, but just let them go into disrepair? Does that make any sense? P.H. Joyce. So I'm just saying they tell on themselves what they are all about. I'd say. And so this is what it looks like inside Byberry. The heavy work we do. Look at that. Look at how they've let things just rot and decay. This is their future home right here. I just want you all to know that's part of very eye-opening. So thank you, Joseph, wherever you are. If you're in the chatmosphere, this is when you really influenced me to go down that, and it led to some wonderful places, I'll say. I did not expect it to lead me to where it has, but it's a full year of learning. So that started that. And then we did Battle of the Builders. And I believe, let's see, I think Girl Code, oh, I think she was going to be on that one. The Coming to America, this was really deep, okay? Because I was talking about Antiquitech and I was debunking a lot of the racial narratives. And we know that, is it echoing, Kathy? Let me know about the echo. Are we in an echo chamber? Let me know. YouTube is slow to respond right now. It's interesting to look back.
The world is a stage, and different people, men and women, they play their roles. They leave this stage. They come on for different acts that they're needed for. So I can see how they would even get certain roles that will correspond, of course, to the things that they are carrying out for the dark ones. But does anybody know what this is? Drop it in the chatmosphere.
Being a spaz. Okay, so let's see. So now we're fully into the conversation of Antiquitech. Remember, we just got into the Antiquitech, and also we talked a lot about just the 1800s. What the heck was really going on? So then it led to, let's see, where did it also lead after that? It led to looking at South America. Let's see. Okay. We talked about The Imitation of Life. Remember, we watched that movie and this is when they cut the stream. And it was for educational purposes because I had rented the. I'm
trying to make this longer than it has to be, but remember I said I will use Wikipedia. So I'm going to kick Wikipedia when I start doing these unravelings of history, and I'm going to remind me to hit the hyperlinks too sometimes, because I'm finding little golden nuggets in those hyperlinks. Who's here? Who just came? Johnny Borealis. Hello, you never heard of this? So fascinating.
Okay, so this is a term called passing.
This woman, Irene, who lives in Harlem, she does charity work and she's involved with the NAACP. A lot of issues come up in terms of racism in the movie. They bring up, let's see. The N-word, I'll just say, is mentioned. And
so that was interesting because that was a big theme for that period where they talked about the phenomenon of passing for one race as opposed to the other. And we've talked more about this thing. And some of you may know people who pass. Some of you may be people who pass. Okay? Yes, so then this was interesting. Metropolis, okay? Metropolis became a study in the mystery plays. If you recall, I actually watched the entire movie Metropolis. And oh yeah, Negrescence. That's when Negrescence came. Thank you, I forgot. Is that when I showed the Negrescence bulb? Oh my goodness, you're right. I should have gone, I don't know what timestamp that would be. But yes, Negrescence came up for the passing and the imitation of life, didn't it? I've got to look back. But Metropolis was interesting, I'll say.
You said
That was a movie that I don't recommend.
Tracy said, "Yeah,
I
Jen,
can't
you
say,
be tricky
go
with your
watch it.
thumbnail."
It was, I did it for
I have so much fun, you all.
I have so much
educational
fun, you all,
purposes.
creating those thumbnails. It's like one of my little hobbies now.
Has anybody ever
If you
watched
want thumbnail-
Metropolis? Let me know. Bizarre. But I learned a lot of really interesting things about it. Let's see, we're around. So this was film noir.
He didn't know. Early Instagram. And then this is the sort of like, you know, her little pets. She liked pets a lot, so she had various
Shout out
pets,
to Paul
dogs, and
Romano.
you
I
see
got
the black
my
cat.
idea early.
And then she was,
Instagram.
I guess, in a picture where she had to
God.
star with a cheetah, and I found that to be interesting because that must have been a real thing, because Josephine Baker also had a cheetah, but she had a cheetah as a pet. Is she channeling an Egyptian goddess? You said.
So that was Metropolis. So then Metropolis gave me some puzzle pieces, I'll say. This was all an interesting puzzle that was pieced together over the course of the year. So after Metropolis, where did we go? We went into... I knew it had to come up. Okay, so Metropolis. Oh, I want to make a point about this, because this is one of those things, you know, when they say it's in your crawl, it's like in your crawl. I can't explain why. This is probably one of the biggest epiphanies that hit me was the Ethiopian orphan and the British Queen Victoria. And I now believe that Victoria's Secret is something that I am still connecting. But this was something that I'm still working it out. And it is coming to me, different pieces of this puzzle. But I'm trying to see if it will play at least. Having text for sure. If anybody remembers this one or has any information about the Ethiopian orphan and Queen Victoria, if you've ever heard anything about it, anything more than what I just want to look into it more and make more connections. How's it going, Sean? Hey, Sean. Sean said death to Smoochie. What is that? That sounds familiar, Sean. It seems like I've heard that before. I don't know if
that. I love it. Okay, so let's go right in, okay? So we're going to talk about monarchies. We're going to talk about the Empire of Ethiopia, or the Kushite Empire, as well as the British Empire. And I want to hear what you think. I want to read, rather. I can't hear you, right? But please, like I always say, if you see something, say something. Given full honors by the British troops as her body.
So this is the name of the prince, and
I didn't go forward yet to the other because I didn't realize I have more. So I want to show you that their money also bears
Metropolis
the
was
King
super creepy.
Menelik.
Absolutely, it was. Absolutely. Okay, but I kind of think it's on the StreamYard side
so
of things.
King Menelik on the coin.
All right, so then,
and they said that
it's going to be a big thing for me going forward. Just so you know, I want again to understand more about that, and then coming up to, let's see. This has been really a lot of work. I didn't know that we did all of this work, family. All right, we've covered a lot of ground. Okay, so then we did Cyrus, King Cyrus, and the Magna Carta. And then Gilgamesh, that was interesting, and the fragment of Noah. Then Queen Califia, that was very interesting. And diplomacy, warfare. Some of these titles are like, whoa, Machiavellian princedoms. And oh my goodness. And then Cusco, Peru. That was crazy. Then we did the whole paternity and patriarchy, talking about good old Justin Trudeau's. And then, this one about the giants. I did a little something short about giants just to show people, because when I would talk about giants, sometimes people would just unfriend me just right off the bat just for talking about it. It was so, this is when I finally had monetization. Okay, so yeah, got a little bit of monetization going on the channel.
Survive the free winter with this revolutionary port. Sick of sky.
Survive the freezing winter with this revolutionable heat.
What is going on with one? Let's peek.
This giant thing?
Oh no.
I believe in them. Oh my word. I believe in giants.
So goofy, right? Yeah. The music is getting kind of rock and rolling, right? Arts and crafts. Trudeau must go. That's right, D-Nice. Must go. Okay, so that was a little bit of the giants. To give you a little flair for the giant visuals. We didn't get into it all the way, but you get the point. Then we came around and we were starting to talk about what next. Okay, giants, and then we had a flat earth. Very interesting flat earth thing came around. It was really interesting. Talked about BOB and NASA. Then we did the cities of America, because this was around Super Bowl time. And this was a real hoot. I don't know if you got a chance to look at the Maggie Trudeau, Canada's wildflower child. That was really interesting. She was quite the
Pierre
gal.
was 51, she 22. Dubbed Pierre's flower child bride, their son Justin was born on Christmas Day, 1971, followed in 1973 by Alexandra and Michael in 1975. After the birth of my second child, I fell into the deepest depths of depression, she says. Although the life of the party in her youth, Trudeau says she was sometimes also really sad, but that her mother's family routines kept me balanced. From the pits of depression, Trudeau rose to extremes of mania, where you do these things, what other people would think are really bad acts, reprehensible things. There's so much dopamine in your brain that you can't access logic.
Okay. That answers a lot if you wanted to know about Maggie Trudeau. Okay, you pretty much will understand a lot about that situation. Yeah, she was, hanging out at Studio 54 a lot, and yeah, lots of things going on with her. Yeah, all right, so then we moved on to orphan trains. That was interesting, and then we did the Canadian crime family. For all the Canadians up there, boy oh boy, you've got a lot going on in Canada. That was quite an eye-opener. And then we went on to find out about Sean Penn. Why, oh why, Sean Penn in Ukraine when the war began. And he
is your kitchen sink constantly clogged? Tired of using your
Isn't that what they claimed he was doing?
Pull out
So,
germ-riddled
Sean Penn,
debris every night.
What a guy. So he's doing his documentary. He also criticized the Bush administration for its destruction of civil liberties.
The Bush administration for its
Maggie was a hoochie. Oh, that's so funny. Jules. Maggie was a hoochie. Yeah, this slowness going on. All right, come on. What's going on, YouTubes?
Santa Monica, not bad, you know. Santa Monica is a beautiful area of the Los Angeles area, as you know. To actor and director Leo Penn, like I said, Dad was an American actor and director, and mother Eileen Ryan. His mother is an American actress as well. So his mother is an actress, his father is an actor and director. His older brother is a musician, Michael Penn. All right, so then we have his younger brother, actor Chris Penn, so another actor, died in 2006. Not sure what he died from, just says he died.
Okay. Did you all know he had a brother, also that actor brother?
He also criticized the Bush administration for its destruction of civil liberties and its simplistic and inflammatory view of good.
Let's see.
The irony, okay, when you've got a country that is so xenophobic. Oh boy. Okay, Lee Daniels lawsuit. All right, so Lee Daniels responded to criticism about Terrence Howard's continued career in light of his domestic violence issues by referencing Penn's rumored history of domestic violence. Okay, and he said, Terrence ain't done nothing different than Marlon Brando or Sean Penn, and all of a sudden he's some effing demon. In response, Penn launched a $10 million defamation suit against Daniels, alleging that he had never been arrested or charged with domestic violence. So just because you get arrested or charged, that means that makes domestic violence true? Okay, Sean Penn, yeah, we really believe that. Penn dropped the lawsuit after Daniels retracted his statement and apologized. Okay. His El Chapo interview. A day after Mexican officials announced the capture of fugitive El Chapo, who goes by Sinaloa, he was the fugitive Sinaloa cartel boss, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, in a bloody raid. Rolling Stone revealed on 2016 that Sean Penn, along with actress Kate Castillo, had conducted a secret interview with El Chapo prior to his arrest. How does Sean Penn get these interviews? A secret interview. Okay. All right.
Okay, so that's Sean Penn. If you just, if you have any answers, if you have any more data, intel on Sean Penn, just throw it into the comments section, okay? It's an ongoing investigation into him. Okay, now this is another probably very cringeworthy but needed topic to dive into. And I ask the question, is Klaus Schwab the most evil man in Babylon? Did anybody have an answer for the question?
When this baby girl fell 30 feet, she hit her head just right, and it didn't kill her, and it didn't paralyze her.
Wow, I had a little monetization going on, huh? Didn't I?
People want to know. I see several priorities for the global agenda. We must continue to fight against the global pandemic. We must revitalize the global economy and accelerate its transition to net zero. We must preserve biodiversity by deploying nature-based solutions, and we must narrow the gap between the rich and the poor to achieve more sustainable global development.
JennyEason here, and today I want to talk about Klaus Schwab. Now, Klaus Schwab, we hear his name thrown around a lot. He is someone that's rather new to me. I had not heard his name prior to 2020, I'll say for me. But I don't know a lot about him, and I thought I'd take a little quick review and research him a little bit. So let's kind of dive into something on Klaus Schwab. His middle name, or full name rather, is Klaus Martin Schwab, born March 30th, 1938. He is a German engineer and economist, best known as the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum. He was born in Ravensburg, and his mother from Zurich, father from Roggwil, and his father was a manager of a company in Ravensburg, and that company was, I believe, a Swiss industrial company with a focus on engineering and turbine construction. The family was monitored by the Gestapo, and the Gestapo being, let me just kick the wiki on the Gestapo for people who...
Okay, so we get a good feel for Klaus Schwab's. So Klaus Schwab's was an interesting topic. I learned a lot about his deal. And we move over to, where do we go from Klaus Schwab? Where could you go from there? Okay, we moved on to, we started playing Kahoot. Do you guys remember when we gotta do the Kahoot. Wait a minute. We'll do the second one. We did Jordan, the Queens of Jordan. That was interesting. Then we did a Kahoot pop quiz. Let's see. Will it play it? Kahoot pop quiz. Remember we tried Kahoot. Who played Kahoot? That was fun. It was different. It was very different. Something different. if it will ever play. The drones, harems, alternative lifestyles, and stepmothers. What a combination.
Now, ready for the next question. What's around that corner? Right around that corner.
Kahoot. Wasn't that funny? We did it, right? We did it. Yeah, we should do it again. Maybe they have improved Kahoot.
Remember I told you I was watching a video on how to do this? And the actual person doing the video had this happen to them. Hold it.
I don't know what I'm doing. But the Kahoot was a hoot.
That music.
A hoot. All right, so then after we did the Kahoot, we left the Kahoot. We're always ever changing here at the Invisible Remedial College. Just when you think you have us pegged, we will pivot. Okay, we have to pivot. All right, so we did Kanye West, Donda. That was interesting. Churches of Laodicea. Then we went into, remember this, the material world, and we looked at how the houses, if a house is not, it was so gross, I won't play it because it like really skeeves people out to look at homes. If you're not in a home, within 6 months, the house will start to deteriorate. So that was very interesting. The people that go around to all these abandoned homes, and in that video, they had an abandoned home by one of the Disney family. So very, it just shows you again why we should not put our material things as idols in our lives, because they do not last and things happen that you can become separated from your material things. And what do? Are you going to freak out? So that was a good lesson to just remind us of that. Now, this was interesting. I learned a lot about the Church of, Scientology, and I'll play a little bit of this. The man, the scientist.
Sweaty Betty, find your power.
Oh God. Sorry. The man, the really weird guy that worked for...
Did you know that in Texas, rifles can be carried in public without a license? Whereas in Florida, no open carrying is allowed.
Okay. So this was...
Hello, JennyEason here. Doing these rituals. A coincidence?
So this was like, Alan Parsons and...
Knew him scoffed at this being an accident, claiming Parsons was too careful and meticulous, and he wouldn't be using a tin can to mix anything. And according to chemical engineer George Santimers, the explosion had to have come from beneath the floorboards. This led to claims that Parsons was assassinated, that the explosion was a government cover-up. There was a theory going around that Howard Hughes had Parsons assassinated. Apparently, Parsons was believed to have stolen Hughes Aircraft Company documents. Some claimed it was the...
So that was Parsons, Scientology. Very interesting deep dive for me to research and learn the weird details around Alan Parsons. I didn't know a lot about him, but nonetheless, it was eye-opening, and I'm sure it's so much more to the story, but I got enough.
There was a theory going around that
And it's still
Howard
playing. Look at
Hughes
that.
had Parsons
had Parsons' aircraft company documents. Some
This was after
claimed it was the work
infamous
Parsons had done.
slap heard around the world. Another Philadelphia John, Will Smith.
So
okay?
what in the Hermetic mystery play?
I went pretty hard on my homeboy and his wife.
Fluent couple, art dealers, and he was such a grifter, he got the high society people to believe he was Sidney Poitier's son. And this role just shows such a duality that is fluent couple, art dealers, and he was such a grifter, he got the high society people to believe he was Sidney Poitier's son. And this role just shows such a duality that is extremely disturbing. Themes such as chaos and control. Another interesting thing, right, a harem. And in his harem, he'd like Halle Berry and Misty Copeland to be in the harem. And real or imaginary, it seemed that Jada was okay with it. She thought it was cute too. I guess Jada said, "Hold my soul cracker," as she got entangled with a young soul, a broken soul, someone who she mentored, a friend of her son, and it turned out to be very, very disturbing, predatorial, and it wound up at the infamous Red Table. This Red Table was so hurtful, so cringy, so embarrassing, secondhand embarrassment, everything you can imagine. Traumatic to witness the unraveling of this power couple, this Hollywood family.
I thought this was funny when Jada was doing this whole thing. Wait a minute, let me see. Because she started this thing, Oscars So White. And I'd let her have a little segment. It's not playing.
And he was such a grifter, he got the high society. And he was such a grifter, he got the high society people to believe he was Sidney Poitier.
Jada, keep my name out your mouth. I love that. I don't know why. I was being goofy.
Recognize how much power, influence that we have amassed, that we no longer need to ask to be invited anywhere. I ask the question, have we now come to a new time and place where we recognize that we can no longer beg for love, acknowledgement, or respect?
So that was that. Moving on up, how are we doing? How are we doing? So we got to the slap heard around the world, and Jada and Will, I don't know, Will Smith, his whole thing has changed, right? So we did the dark matriarchy. That's when I did the Lilith breakdown, and the seed wars continue, the dark matriarchy. Then I talked about the metaverse being in the Dungeons and Sirens. There were some warnings about the effects of... I talked about adult entertainment, pornography, and how, it affects the soul. And then Pursuits of Vengeance, that was interesting. Then When the Grid is Down, I got that out of the book. I think that was when our sister Karen, she made that suggestion. I think it was you, Karen, right? I asked which chapter you might want to hear? I think you voted on that. Hey, the Guru, welcome. Now this was when, okay, let's go back to the Georgia Guidestones. Remember when I called the church? Can you believe that? Oh my God, that thing was so crazy. So I called the church and the lady totally gaslit me like, oh, it's nothing wrong with those stones. It's all perfectly fine. Remember that? Let's see if we could find that place. That was crazy.
Thrown onto the front lines of working the convid.
Let's see.
You're looking for trouble?
And go versus his mouth. And he sings.
Where did I have that phone call? Oh, I think it was early in the video. Let's see if it plays it. This was a long one. Oh my gosh. All of these hours put into the I can't say it. Okay, so let's get to the discussions here. Okay.
I can't say it. Okay, so let's get to the discussions here. Okay.
I'm trying to get to the phone.
Bole is in here. Mbole, if you know about this brother who goes around the world and he finds where the altars are under. Have you ever heard?
Where are you located?
I'm in South Georgia, and I'm
where in South Georgia?
like right on the border, really, like Florida, Georgia.
Yes, Jamie, I did that right
And
before the stones
what I'm
were
really concerned about is
So you can imagine how I felt.
okay.
What town? Are you near? Are you talking about being near?
You know, near Americus, Georgia.
Yeah.
You know that area?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, near there.
I grew up just below Bainbridge, right across the line.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, you do know this area really well.
Lake Seminole, Chattahoochee.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yep, all those definitely different areas. But back to what I was concerned about. Have you known of anybody in the area, like any ministries, if it's not in your congregation, but any that do that type or have a concern? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's your thought on the Georgia Guidestones? Do you have a particular way that you feel about them?
A lot of people here in the area, there have been cults that have met out there at it. They keep having to clean them all. People go out there and just spray paint obscene stuff out there on them.
Oh.
It's just some big granite slabs. There's nothing, any reason to go there to pray. It's just a person, a secular person built those things, and they put a mystery around it, thinking, well, nobody is supposed to know who actually built them, and really, we still not supposed to know who actually did. I know there's probably somebody here in town that does, but
Okay. All right. Well, there's no real reason to have a concern to pray about what you say.
not there. I mean, it's just a little tourist draw right there. Yeah, having
So, So she did not think that it was something that you should pray about. And mind you, she worked at a church. I don't know if that was missed, that part of the story. She worked at a church. I was calling a church in the area. So that is why the whole thing was rather odd, but very enlightening nonetheless. So then I did one about why Satan hated Adam and Eve. Then the Nagas, the secret snake brotherhood underground. I think something happened somewhere in there. That's when my feed was cut off. And then this was one of my favorites, everyone. You know how, you have your favorite things that you do? It's called The Sovereign's Orb and the Weavers of Tweed, the islands of Scotland.
Somewhere along the way,
I
meals became
enjoyed doing
complicated.
this one a lot.
Let's get back to the basics.
Discovery involving chess on the island. On the island. The narrative goes like this. The narrative goes like this. The 1800s comes up as being the time when some chess pieces were discovered on the island. It was discovered on a beach. A shepherd was, out with his animals, sounding a little bit like the way that the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. And these chess pieces are carved in such a way. It's a lot of scholarly debate about the origin, but what is believed is that they were carved in Scandinavia, I believe Norway, carved out of walrus tusks and whale teeth.
Let me check.
They were found in a stone box and
so that was, again, one of my favorites to put together. And it just went into that part, we were just making our way around. And let's see, what else? We come up through surviving Coachella. This was fun, too. Let me just play a little bit of surviving Coachella because... oh my goodness.
Similar to another tower.
This
would
was
you
the
say, or
thing to me.
let me know in
at
the comments.
The end of this video.
So this desert wilderness that
funny, you guys.
The festival of Coachella is held in.
If you want to think
how gorgeous I look, I did my own glam, right? Then I did photos for Lauren and Bridget because I am the best plus one and I help out all the girlies, and then the girlies helped out Bridget look stunning for her photos. Then I took a rest because being a plus one is hard. Then we look at the pool. Look how stunning the water looks. Oh my god. Stop, this is a long clip. Okay, then I in my outfit. It was the pool party. So this is my cute fit. Yes, I wore heels to the pool party. Then Tessa brought her baby Barbie because they were friends. Bunny was like, I want Brampy to...
Can you imagine having conversations like this? Oh my goodness. This was the Coachella breakdown. I learned a lot, I have to say.
Comment you on the next live stream. Thank you so much, and God bless you. God bless you.
A lot of back and forth right now between Bunny Barbie and Brampty, and here's the short version. Brampty launched her new business called Pinky Bunny. A lot of people were asking if it was a collaboration with Bunny Barbie because they were friends. Bunny was like, I want Brampty to say that this wasn't a collaboration with me. Also, why would one of my friends try and steal my brand? Brampty then posted a TikTok and was like, I can't believe this girl's trying to accuse me of stealing the word Bunny. He also threw shade and said that she had more followers than Bunny on every single platform. He also made a video saying that everything with the word Bunny in it was canceled. So then Bunny Barbie responded and she was like, I didn't accuse you of stealing the word Bunny. If we were friends, why didn't you tell me this was going to be the name of your new business? And just tell your fans that it's not a collaboration with me. Bunny Barbie posted all the screenshots between the two of them, and now they both said that each other has blocked them.
Oh my goodness. That was so funny. So that was Coachella. That was fun. I take these little departures in some ways, but it's a method to the madness, I'll say, if you can believe that. And then this was one of the most interesting dives with Girl Code, if you recall. It was when we went to the Time Traveler in Spain. Does anybody remember that?
So the fun thing with the serpent is, how does this serpent talk? And not only that, but why is the serpent's punishment to crawl?
Let me get past this. Who remembers this deep dive in Spain?
As a ruin after their civil war.
Let me see if I can go past.
And it was turned into a museum.
Solo sé que me llamo Javier, lo encontré en un informe médico, donde me explican que soy un experimento y que me enviaron de 2017 a 2021.
This is the guy that is living in 2023 already. Remember that story? And I want to go into something that also around
of our realm, okay, on conscious, okay, and how it is that we can guard from this soul theft, okay, and a lot of those people that's over there in Hollywood too, that like, you know, your young pharaohs and your nature boys and all of that, like weird stuff that we see going on, these people didn't sell their soul, family. A lot of these people's souls have been taken from them. This is theft on a whole new level. So even people that watch magic shows, okay, and when you engage and you watch magic shows, they're able to steal something from you. A lot of people come from magic shows, next thing you know, they can't see like they used to conceive. They don't walk how they used to walk. Something is, you know, their back, it feels like it's missing a few spinal cords back there. You are actually giving away your pieces of your soul when we give attention to these things, okay? So and not only you
know, Girl Code was dropping mics. It was so powerful. So that was one of like, whoa, that was a powerful build. And it's called title, if you wanted to go back and look at that one, I highly recommend that one. It's the one that it's the Tinfoil Turban Files, Time Traveler in Spain, and then making it around to this was a reading of the Norwegian sailor's deathbed account. And this one, I read the book. If you want to go back and listen to that, it is a reading of the entire book of the Smoky God, I believe. Was this one.
No man, no woman, no child should ever have to drink green water.
Alignment with maniacs and all the horrible anguish and sufferings are too vivid to warrant my taking further chances.
In
1889, I sold out my fishing boats and found
So that was the reading of that story. Actually, that wasn't the Smoky God. Or was it? Wait a minute. Yes, that was the Smoky God. Okay, so that was an interesting. Then I did a debrief on it, and then did the high value humans. This was funny. Let me just go over this one. It was at the end that, I don't know, it's just funny to me.
Human seems to be one that has a respect for others,
for all the crazy cat
for
people. This
the
was
vulnerable.
so funny to me. I don't know about you. Let's just have a little crazy cat
more
cat people time.
self-sustaining would be to make baby formula for any babies that are still on formula. Making your own is a much healthier option.
I was trolling, okay? I have to admit, I was trolling. Totally trolling. Just trolling. I am such a goofball. I know, right, Ty? Okay, so I was trolling, I know. Okay, that was a little something at the end, a little gif. If you watched the whole video, you had a little bit of a cat foray. And then this was a very sad one about Chesley Christ. If you know about her, she was the beauty queen and also a correspondent for one of the news outlets that dealt with more celebrity culture, but she committed suicide. She suffered from something they call high functioning depression, and that was really, really sad. Then I did the media stunt queen. Remember Nellie? Oh, let's listen to the Nellie song. Why don't we? Let's hang out. And I'm still reading the book of Enoch, you guys. You know me. I am collapsing time frames. I don't mind doing a lot, but I
and believe
will be
your whole life.
reading tonight. I don't know when we begin. But I will be reading
JennyEason
about
here,
the media
and thank you
stunt
for
queen
clicking on
Nellie.
the video.
There was a song
Today,
that came
I am
out
entitled.
of-
Hello, JennyEason here. But then you have private cars and things that I just did not really know.
Oh,
that
here it is. Nellie.
It was
This
about
was
a black
interesting,
woman.
everyone.
It was about a yes, and Stephen Foster. He did lots of music, like "Oh Susanna," which I found out was another minstrel troupe blackface song. Yes, and also used at the 1912 National Convention for the Democratic Party. Let's take a little listen to Nellie Bly.
That's funny.
And by the way, they changed the name of Nellie to the IE instead of Y. They said it was an accident, but you know, it's the 1800s. We don't trust it.
Nellie Bly, bring the broom along. We'll sweep the kitchen clean, my dear, and have a little song. while I take the banjo down. Just give the marsh a turn. Hey Nelly, ho Nelly, listen love to me. I'll sing for you, play for you a dulcet melody. Hey Nelly, ho Nelly, listen love to me. I'll sing for you, play for you a dulcet melody.
Sean said, I remember this shit.
Nelly Bly have a voice like the turtle dove. I hears it in the meadow and I hears it in the grove. Nelly Bly have a heart warm as cup of tea and bigger than the sweet potato down in Tennessee. Hey Nelly, ho Nelly, listen love to me. I'll sing for you, play for you a dulcet melody. Hey Nelly, ho Nelly, listen love to me. I'll sing for you.
I don't think Sean could take any more of it. But you know what's interesting again about it? And this is why I'm saying I'm putting together a lot of loose ends. The name of that sheet music, it's called Ethiopian Serenaders. Ethiopian Serenaders. I'm telling you all, I'm on to something, and I'm not going to speak on it too soon, but I'm putting some things together is all I will say. Okay. So then we move around to airships and zeppelins. It was a whole thing. Grandma got a robot. That was really weird. Then I talked about Hunter Biden and his dating life, his low value dating life. Then we had Raiders of the Looted Assets about Libya. Very interesting. I did some musical like just some things. So if you wanted to listen to some music frequencies, this right here, of course, this was one of the special guests that came on to talk to us. And this is none other than Mr. Jason Brashears of Archaics. This was a special time. This would have been June 18th. Look at that. June. Have Jason come and chat with us. Let's see
Guardio does.
what that was like. Let's hear some of what Jason is saying.
People who have signed away their life. Signed away their life.
To while I prepare my absence. And can you share with us the significance of that year? Because
wait a minute, I don't know what's happening. Hold it. Let's see. It's buffering. Disingenuous. Oh gosh.
Female. But with another guy, she instantly knows he's lying. She's
disingenuous of, say, Christians to maybe attack anything that like someone like you would be.
Let's see.
Journals, they keep up with all this. They fund those institutions. So they knew. They didn't tell Astronomer Hoffman that it was actually Phoenix. They didn't tell Astronomer Hoffman that what he saw was actually an object for which they have a long history of avoiding. They didn't say all that. They don't care about informing the scientific community because the scientific community is nothing but a tool for the elite to stay on top of things. Once they realized 1764, well, the Phoenix is still.
Okay, so again, very good time with Jason. And we had another special guest. We had a few that came by to talk to us. We had Super Sly and Nedge. Oh my goodness, Nedge. This was so much fun with her cooking. Remember that? And then we had Brother Super Sly came by to talk to us. Let's see what can we glean?
If you go back and remember the waiter they made.
Okay.
We're good.
Was I having some technical problems, Harley?
You kind of want me to know that this
You kind
happens.
of want me to know that this happened. That happens.
Interesting because
brother, this is all right. So now we're coming up to present day. Let's see. That was a great time. Okay, where are we? Okay, then I read some of the amendments, 13, 14, and read the 10 Commandments or the Decalogue. Then we talked about JoJo's climate emergency, hot flash, climate change. I likened it to menopause. And then I read the Sky is Falling narrative and the Bill of Rights. Made some kefir, water kefir, and kombucha. Then we kick off the radio, and talked about being stuck in China, monkeypox. Read the Acres of Diamond book or lecture, the whole thing. 1994 crime bill. And then a Beverly Hills crime wave. Look at this year, all this stuff. We talked about hydrogen, automobile technology, and the portal to hell, Gary, Indiana. I won't play that one because every time, I don't know, Gary, Indiana, something weird happens. So we're going to bypass Gary, Indiana and the portal to hell. Then this was the first time I dropped a link and people came and talked. This was wonderful. Let's go look at that as a nice review of just having some good times. This was spontaneous. It was beautiful. I want to thank you all for jumping out there
like the correction system, the same trays, the same tables, the same school bus.
Yes. Exactly.
The same outdated practices. But then you have these indoctrinated teachers and staff and school board members.
What's up, Jamel?
And they are just so stupid. And even out here in the South, even in North Carolina, it was very few and far between where I would find a patriotic teacher. Now, the first school I worked at was majority melanated, low income or whatnot. And when they found out that I was a Trump supporter,
I know, Jamel. I know they came at me like a bunch of banshees, wild. But oh boy, good times, right? When they come at you like a bunch of wild banshees because you think different. Okay, so our good brother Jamel shared that experience, and then we talked about the basketball players stuck in Russia. The manosphere has collapsed, and the quiet quitting movement. And I was in the grocery store acting like a spaz. That was fun. Tiffany Haddish, not a fun subject. Energy tourism. And the Queen passed away. So what was going on that day? We did high tea, right? So the Queen passed away it was announced September 8th, was it? And that was interesting, wasn't it? What a year.
But it hasn't been because of the things that have been done in the past. But I think it's kind of like where the past finally meets the present.
Look at how cute Tina looks in her hat. I love it. We were doing high tea, right, Tina?
Well, I'm going to amen that. I certainly hope that that's the way it's going. I think we're sort of heading into some uncharted territory. We really don't know what to expect. We haven't, we've never experienced some of the things that we're in right now. So I think it's going to be interesting the next few weeks, few months. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going on.
I love Tina.
I just hope nobody has to really starve or be frozen to death. All these horrible, possibilities that they try to terrify us with all the time. It's one thing to just get through this emotionally and psyop type stuff.
Right.
but the physical death thing is so depressing. I hope there's almost none of it, you know. Ugh.
Well, we certainly need to be praying. We need to be in prayer for these people. And I hope that there is some help for anyone that, may be in a crisis where they don't have heat during this winter.
It's time for humanity to be human.
Okay, so we're starting to now pop out of the bushes, as they say. We're dropping links and talking and chatting. So where are we now? We get up to Starlink, artificial suns, COVID, the forum. If you participated in the COVID 9/11 forum debrief, that was very good. Martha's Vineyard, that was good. Then we did a girl talk, Karen, talking about Mount Shasta. Now we're moving up to current days, America's open border and the fentanyl invasion. And we talked about the issue with the young lady who passed away because of an accidental overdose, and her friends came on. That was really powerful. And then what else? We're talking about the Feast of Trumpets. That was really powerful, coming up through the High Holy Days. So now you can see the transformation, how things are just flowing. So we're at the High Holy Days of this year, fighting the forces of evil. And now come to the point where we are at the Book of Enoch, and we talked about a few things, Prince and his estate. Now that I have started my business and I am building right now, I'm transforming. You're watching a whole new thing happen with your friend, as I have found a path to freedom, and I'm learning and growing, and a lot of you will be joining in this journey that we all learn something new. Okay. So I want to thank you for this year. And if you have watched most of these videos, you have graduated. Okay. This is done, 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 done. And I would take the spoon and just give you a nice blessing. Okay. Done, 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 done. You have graduated the Invisible Remedial College. Okay. Or the part of the one part of the college. We're moving into another part of our curriculum. But yes, go back and look at some of that old stuff. Maybe it will have a new whatever. We have not been stuck on certain positions. I found a lot of the research to be very interesting. However, where I am now, I've shared with you all that I have felt a calling to get back to law and order. And I am very drawn to the law and really desiring to live an upright life and to be of a meek heart, meaning to fear Jah and to open myself to his wisdom. We will continue fighting, okay? Even though we're taking pivots and things like that, we continue to occupy until he comes. And I will continue the Book of Enoch. If you want to meet me here in a little while, if you want to go get yourself situated and get your jammies on, take a quick shower, I don't know, but I'll set up to do the rest of the reading of the Book of Enoch, okay? And another thing about the radio, the radio stream on Station Head, I decided that instead of having a set time for that, which is going to be difficult now that my new schedule has kicked in as I'm building my business and training. So I want the radio thing to be an improvisational thing. So it will be literally a pop-up type of, whatever live stream. Whenever you can pop on, I will send out the notifications if you have joined us on the live stream of the radio station on Station Head. I'm under Jenny the John there. And also, if you want to find me on Instagram, I'm Jenny the John. On Facebook, and here I'm JennyEason. I'm JennyEason across all of the platforms. But you can find me and engage. And if you want a complimentary, of course, review to see how you're doing, get a checkup of your financial, just everything that you are doing. Is your plan enough? Do you want to have some questions answered by a professional? You will contact me, reach out to me, and let's set something up. If you want to send somebody my way, if you've overheard your cousin talking about their 401k and they have questions, and somebody lost their job and they're wondering about their coverage, and somebody has a parrot that will live till 70 and they want to make sure the parrot is taken care of. All kinds of scenarios, okay? If you want to keep the government out of your pocket so much and you want to learn how to do that and be wise and prudent, let's learn and grow together as we are on this journey. John is here. Oh, welcome, Brother John. Brother John and I, we do a Monday show, everyone, exploring the matrix, and we have the best time. John has been such a good brother, and blessings to him and his beautiful bride. I love them. And if you want to join us over on John's station on Mondays, that's usually 7:00 p.m. Eastern time, okay? But John, bless you and thank you for coming by. I'm going to end this stream right here. We've had our graduation. I want to thank you for joining in tonight for this celebration. And what else do I want to say to you all? You all rock so much. I love you. Let's play a nice toast to you all, okay? Haven't done this in a minute. This is for you all, the real ones, okay? Toast to you, the real ones. And thank you so much. If, like I said, if you want to do a tip and instant, this is where you hit me up.
This one's for the ride. This one's for who knew I make it, just needed some time. This one's for my wife. Could have left 1,000 times just so by my side. This one's for the grind. I knew it would happen, just had the strength in my mind. To the videos, they thought I was a black guy. That's hard to get over. A foreigner in the sport, but I'm fully devoted. I don't take it for granted that the door's been open. I knew I was different. I knew I was chosen. A breadwinner, but I'm so
Jamie, get in touch with me, okay? Hit me up and let's get something on the books for you, okay? You don't have to fret. I am here, okay? And I'll get you some information that you will need, okay, Jamie? So hit me up and let's get something going, okay?
Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the they done baptized the bad guy. Still don't follow religion. The fabric's not average. The cotton's Egyptian. 500 for the shoes come dirty, but the European. Less is more and less is the bank. Up the score, I pull up from train. From the tray, I'm balling like train. Do what I can, I do what you can't. I wrote this 30,000 feet up. 10 toes, stay G'd up. I'm trying to get that type of wealth like a house on the hills, can't see us. Say the money still me up. Stay humble, stay teed up. I don't tell you how to live, so don't hit me with no weak stuff. And if you know the deal, then you know the deal.
Congratulations, graduates.
Let's have a toast for the real ones.
Let's continue to learn and grow together, okay? And love each other. Grow in love and grace. You are the real ones. Toast to the real ones.
Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for
Love you all. see you soon for the Book of Enoch. That's what we're doing, okay? We do that at night till we finish. See you soon.